So what has this 5 years of marriage taught you? The way Yenping works is she doesn't think of these things.
It doesn't change lah, i.e. I don't change. It's about Edro is that he does change.
Hi there, my name is Adriel,
And my name is Yenping.
and this is the Teo-logy podcast. So today is another fun episode, and we are doing this unplanned at all. We just thought of it, we put a camera, we sat down, we randomly talked about it. And so today, as you can see, literally no scripts, no preparation, there's no teleprompter, whatever lah. And what is it that we're going to be talking about today?
Well, we just celebrated our 5th year anniversary, wedding anniversary. So we're going to talk about what 5 years of marriage has taught us.
Yeah, and we figured this would be a cool episode for us to unpack and iron it out with you all. And maybe for couples out there, you can then instantly do the same things that we just do. And see what kind of answers that you all have for yourself lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the note on not planned. So usually we don't script our sessions, but we do write down like some key points that we want to talk about. But today we are not writing key points because we just want to show what like a check-in between the two of us kind of looks like.
Yeah, and speaking of check-ins, these are some things that we do it on a monthly basis, and then also on a quarterly basis, and then on a monthly and quarterly and year-end basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you before we dive into it, just give them an idea what check-in is, right?
Yeah, so check-in is kind of like, well, if you hear it in the working sense, it's like you meet with your colleague or your manager and you talk about progress and you talk about where each other are, and then you align back and then you talk about next steps. So it's definitely helpful for productivity, hence in the work sense, but it's even more helpful, I feel, in a relationship when two people are just walking together. Because you're walking together, right? You could very well be gradually veering off in a direction. The degree could be like so small, but if you don't check in, you don't realize that you have an angle.
Really,
Yeah.
it's not parallel or the same. And check-ins are very helpful for us because it just helps me know where you're at, and it then brings out the real question. The question is not that, oh, you're not doing this for me, or I'm not doing this for you. It's more like, is it me that has veered off, or do I pull you back to alignment? Yeah.
And like, are you even aware about it? So that's check-ins help you be aware.
And talking about Game of Impossible, right? Idris and Leon Jala always talk about the true north and true north. And so ultimately the check-in is to see whether your marriage is still in its true north. And for those who are thinking that, but marriage is marriage anyway. No, marriage has a destination, there's a journey to it, and you work your marriage towards it. So what is your marriage true north lah? Yeah. So without further ado, I'm thinking, see, we didn't script at all, right? I'm just thinking, at least in terms of check-in, there are 3 things that we're gonna just briefly discuss. Number 1, at least 5 years of marriage ma. So what has this 5 years of marriage taught you? Number 2, what are you grateful for each other? And number 3, what is one thing that you can speak in terms of improvement, or that's gonna be tough for the other couple, something to something to grow into. Yeah.
Yeah, and on that note, like that usually happens in our check-ins too. He's the one that comes up with the questions.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So why not you start us off lah? What has the 5 years of marriage taught you?
I think it has taught like things about two people walking together, and then it has also taught me about you. So which one do you want?
You go with the flow lah.
Let's start maybe with things that two people walking together need
Do we
to,
go back and forth?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So
okay.
1 1 1 1.
Okay.
So things that two people walking together find out that is needed, or facts about that, is it is helpful to have co-projects. So And it's also helpful to have individual projects. So I feel like it's quite a healthy balance to have your own me things to do, but also important to find things to do together. So for example, like us doing the t-shirts
Oh yeah, so we're gonna post a quick image flash here
for the back.
for the back. The whole point of these shirts, which is the Malaysian Christian memes merch, is the back, not the front. Yeah.
And yeah, I think some of our passion projects have been like doing covers together, doing this podcast together, doing like journeying with people. And usually it's like couples, because when you journey with individuals, sometimes it's a bit more one-on-one.
Yeah.
What else do we do together? Watching shows are very, very. I won't call them projects.
Yeah.
So two things lah. One would be like having quality time together, but working on a project together. And why I find that helpful is because it gives you a common goal, and it gives you something that both of you value, both of you invest in, you talk about. Which, for example, on the flip side, a me project would be like my career, right?
Yeah.
He can listen to me ranting or being excited about things. He can try and support me by filling in, like, say, house chores when I'm busy with my work. But essentially, it's very hard for him to come into my work, right? So then that's like a individual space, but having a space where both of us are working at it together, I find that helpful.
Okay. I think for me, I don't know how cliche it is, right? I have learned that the things that annoy you at the start of the marriage, they still annoy you 5 years later. But the only difference is you generally know how to deal with it, and you have a greater capacity of tolerance. Yeah. Shall I give an example?
Sure.
Yeah. So Yan Ping is famous for being very clumsy. Yeah. Like the things she hold is gonna fall down. The things she put in her mouth is gonna come out. Yeah. And I think just yesterday it happened, right? It was so hilarious. So because the way Yan Ping works is she doesn't think of these things. She's more big picture, strategy, systems mind. So on these little things on a day to day living basis, she just doesn't think of it. That's why the running joke for her is she can trip on a even ground. Yeah, which is true. Anyway, what more an uneven ground lah. So yesterday is like I was preparing coffee for her, and we were gonna have biscuit for breakfast. So knowing for some reason, right, it's not that it has happened before, but you just anticipate this, right? I was thinking she's gonna put the biscuit inside and dip her coffee, and it's not gonna enter her mouth. I think I'm just gonna prepare a spoon for her, right? So that morning we sat down, the spoon's ready. There's only one cup that has spoon, and then she dips the the biscuit.
Cracker for too long.
Then she took it up, right before we enter, the thing fell down. Ploop, then she go, ooh, right. Then she used a spoon to scoop it up. And then said, never mind, I try again. So she dips it the second time. And then now for some reason, your hand was out. And then it fell outside of the cup. And I'm like, and those days I'll be like, oh dear, kind of thing. But now it's like, it's like,
Yeah.
this is my wife. Yeah. I have one more thing to add on that, but you want to share your thoughts on that, whether it's true, yeah.
I mean, it's true, and I think what it does say is like the person doesn't change lah, i.e. I don't change, and then you just gotta, and it's not like you change to like learn to love me for being clumsy, but you just deal with it.
Yeah. And clumsiness is just one of the million things that I have to deal with. And biblically speaking, we are called to bear one another's burdens, and so this fulfill the law of Christ. And what's the word? The dealing with the other person. In some sense, I lost my train of thoughts. Help me out here.
Don't know what you
Oh.
were saying.
Yeah, so I just have a greater capacity lah. There was one more thought I wanted to add on that. Yeah. I think the other thing is when these things annoy me, I have to sit down and remind myself the other things of why I chose. Yeah, I chose her.
Because he clearly didn't choose me because I was clumsy. But
Correct,
he's
correct.
got to remember all the reasons why he chose me.
And clumsy is not going to be a deal breaker in our marriage lah. You know, kind of thing. And I also have my quirks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next? Speak. Yeah.
Yeah, so on the note of like the person doesn't change, actually the one thing that I learned, and this is not about like marriage in general, but it's about Edro, is that he does change. Yeah, so you know people who complain like, oh, my husband never changed, you know, that kind of stuff, or like don't try to change the person. I don't relate because my husband's always changing. Yeah,
You got to qualify that.
like when
How
I
good,
first
how bad that is.
good, mostly for the good. But it's just like certain fundamental things about him that I thought was fundamental, like his value system would just change. Example would be like tech. Like he used to love tech like crazy, rabbit hole. He would buy everything. I had to like give him all kinds of rules and clauses on what you can buy and what you cannot. If not, we'll go broke.
I still appreciate tech.
Yeah, he
though.
still appreciates tech. But then like one day he was like doing super a lot of research, and then overnight he was just like, you know, I'm gonna sell all my tech. I'm gonna downgrade. I'm gonna and I honestly I didn't believe it when he wanted to downgrade to a phone that will lag. I was like, give you 2 months. You know?
Yeah.
But you've
Eight,
survived.
8 months? 8 months?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and my phone will lag because every time I want to pay, right, I'll be like, dear, maybe you should pay first. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing I learned about Edro. It's like he can be very, very passionate about one thing, but I can be chill about his passion because I never know when that passion will just die and then it'll go on to something else.
I mean, the funny thing is you use a very tech as the example though. Don't doesn't sound like a great example. Do you think you have a better example for the audience? I feel so exposed and vulnerable.
Well, I mean, if you talk about changing for the good, you start off with your bad points lah. The second one I can think of is like your temper, or like in general, just learning to be more calm. I think he has changed for the better about that.
Yeah, so I don't know. So just in case you're thinking what kind of temper, right? It's not I flip tables all the time. It is I have anxiety, but my anxiety expresses itself in bursts of panic, and the panic is usually seen as anger. Yeah, it's usually panic. So Yamping has caught on. And
So I learned it's not about calming down his anger, it's about calming down his anxiety, then he'll be fine.
correct. And sometimes when I cannot think. By the way, I say this anxiety, not I don't loosely throw the word as if I have a disorder. I'm just acknowledging being anxious is part of me. So there are times when I have to communicate with Yamping. Dear, I don't have the brain capacity to just allow me to be for a while. Let me just panic for a while, and Yamping knows already. Yeah, but you're saying now is different.
Yeah, so he's a lot calmer. He's a lot more chill about a lot of things. And I used to think like, you know, this was part of him, but then he can change. So yeah. And he takes feedback really well. So like when I've told him or I've pointed out to him like, oh, these are points where you're anxious. These are, you know, and then he takes it in and he learns to be aware of it, and then he learns to regulate himself. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it is a feel weird because you're talking about 5 years of marriage, but you're honing in on. Okay. I also find that there are a lot of things that I used to not do. I started doing also. Yeah, things
For
that I would never
example?
imagine doing.
For example.
Don't know, writing. I think the survey thing is something I never imagined myself doing.
That's another thing that I feel changed about him. He used to hate admin stuff. Now he's doing data things, which is so like, you know,
Yeah. Rigorous.
rigorous, tedious, but now he enjoys it.
So I think I realized a key difference to that is if the data provides me insights about things that I need to do, then I'm very excited for more information to come in, and I'm gonna sort them through. Yeah, without ChatGPT, just in case you're wondering. So yeah, maybe lah. Okay. Wow, that's some. Woo, okay, my turn ah.
Yep.
It's very simple. So I think my answers are quite simplistic compared to hers. 5 years of marriage, one thing has taught me is the simple simple thing that we take for granted, I think that's very powerful, is sleeping beside someone you know and waking up to the person you know the next morning. Why do I say that? Is because I think it's a simple act of it means a whole lot that you know you're ending the day not alone. Yeah. And there's someone that knows you're going to go to sleep, and that's going to be with you the next day you wake up. So if I take it for granted, the powerful thing about it is actually the sense that you are supported, the simple sense that I'm with you, and there's no other physical way to communicate that than the moment you close your eyes and you wake up, I'm there. And I think 5 years of marriage has taught me that's why I get super dysregulated, not an excuse, when she goes for like work outstation lah. Yeah, so I will sleep like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Because I suddenly feel, where's my ankle? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You want to share what's the latest you've slept?
Yeah. But this is based on my issue, not the fact that you're not with me. I slept at 6 a.m. one day.
But that was the fact that I wasn't there to stop you.
That's true also. So I have this thing where if I were to do something, maybe this isn't the podcast episode for another time, but just to give idea, I admire excellence a lot, but I admire efficiency more. And so these two is always at odds with me. And so for that, the one when I slept at 6 a.m., I played Pokemon TCG because I was just one day just thought I want to try something new. So I downloaded the game and it brought back a lot of memories. And it's still a good game, but the problem is when I play, I want to be the best at it. So I research, I study, I play, I get really good at it. And then I was like, oh shucks, the time. Yeah. And to be excellent, sometimes it takes time. To be efficient, sometimes you will at the cost of excellence. You know? Yeah, so I want to be fast, but I want to be good, and that's something I'm learning. So okay, yeah. That's a short like segue. Yeah. So that's something that I have learned about 5 years of our marriage lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you have anything to add?
I think my third point is also about you.
Really? Dang, I need to think something about her also, kan? Okay.
I have learned that.
Oh, I got one. Okay.
Well, I guess extrapolating it to everybody is that I have learned that people have different capacities for different things. And just
I know it's coming.
and
Yeah.
just because they have large capacities for, just because they have a large amount of energy, it doesn't mean that energy goes to certain places. So for Edgel's case, I learned he has a huge, unbelievably huge social capacity.
But I am not really extroverted.
Yeah, he just found out that he is now introverted. But anyway,
Yeah.
he has an unbelievably huge social capacity. He has a much, much shorter task capacity. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, so any task-oriented thing, I have no tolerance for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, and that is not really equivalent to the amount of energy that he's having. So he could be very tired in the day, but he still has capacity for people. Or he could be quite like okay in energy, doesn't mean he has energy to do the task.
You want to share the recent example? Lah? Wait, before you share, not safe for anyone. Listen with earphones. Okay.
What earphones?
Which one you gonna share?
The guardhouse one?
Yeah. I
Why
find...
Anyway, yeah, so there was one day when we were coming home and for whatever reason both of us like really needed to go toilet.
Yeah, both of us need to take a dump.
Yeah, we were quite urgent and we
Yeah.
were rushing to go home and we were like almost there. We reached the guardhouse. I was like, we're almost to the door, we're almost to the gate. But what he does is he unwinds the window and chats with the guard. And then I whacked him. I was like, is this a priority now?
Yeah, so I was on that. I went down there, namaste, so and so. What's going on down there? And then Yamping just made me pa. I said, oh yeah, wait, we need a shit.
So he totally forgot about the fact that he's like urgently needing to go to the toilet.
I suspect people are gonna unfollow us from this point in time already.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's something that I learned about him. And I used to get quite resentful because I was like, when he's tired, he's more snappy, right? So I'll be like, okay, give him grace, show him grace, and then he'll turn to somebody and he'll talk so nicely to the person, and then I'll be like, why are you talking to your wife in one way and then talking to like some stranger in another way? But I realized that there is task and there is social capacity, and they're very very different in his I don't know whether it's brain or whatever the reservoir is.
Yeah, so speaking of brain and reservoir, then I have one for you. Her brain literally works like a computer,
Yeah.
a file management system. Until I had to dig it out for her and she had to articulate it, did I realize that she's a literal computer. A computer with 2 gigs of RAM only. Okay, yeah. So when she does one application, scanning already. So she cannot multitask, she can't do a lot of things. And there are a lot of things that I learned about her where I know how to download applications in her brain. So she has this thing where I think I shared before. Her fingers will start moving and she'll be playing a song. So one day she was playing this song, and I said, "Alicia Keys, is it? Some people want you know." And it's like, eh, how do you know? How do you know? Then only I had to reveal it to her that actually I hum it like a few minutes earlier. And I know it will start replaying, so she'll beat me every
Plants
time.
songs in my head.
Yeah, so I have this thing where sometimes I sing the Merdeka song Tanggal 31. Obviously not in August, and she'll beat me out after that. Then why you sing that? Now it's stuck in my head, and she'll be humming along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but you see, just so you can try this with your partner, what you learn about marriage, and then I guess what you learn about each other lah. That's the way she's approaching this question. Okay, so now more lighthearted one, huh? Okay, what is the few things that you are grateful for me?
I think I'm grateful how we fight.
Yeah, you have. I mean, if a listener is like, okay, how you fight, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if like there's a process or like there are
Steps.
steps, but I think a couple of things that happen when we fight is we try to figure out what's the value that is clashing, and we try to understand how each other fights. So I'm quite the porcupine and he's quite the rhino. I don't like talking when I'm angry because then I'll say a lot of things that I regret. And then he will clear the air very fast. So he doesn't like simmering. Yeah.
Or
So
not, I become well done by the end of the.
yeah. So like learning those things, like even though I need my space so that I don't hurt him and I don't lash out at him, but knowing that me taking up that space is not helpful for him. Yeah, and then for us it's like when we fight we really need to talk and talk and talk until like it's ironed out.
Yeah.
Like his mom once heard us talking about finance, and I think she got a bit scared. She's like, okay, enough.
Enough. I think the other thing is I think I'm very articulate when I'm arguing, right? And I always have to check in with her. I'm like, dear, please tell me if I'm twisting your words or I'm using it, leveraging against you. This is how I understood it. Tell me whether I'm wrong. So if there's moments where she felt like, so I'm giving her the option to say that, hey, I am not using my words against you or your words back to you, kind of thing. Yeah.
So I think in short what I'm grateful about how we fight is that we don't sweep things under the carpet. Like we air it out.
Okay. One thing I'm grateful for you is I think the simple sheer posture that you believe in me and you just say you can do it. Yeah. And I think why I take it her word for it is because she is someone with high standards. So it means a lot that like if someone comes to me and say, "Oh, Andrew, you did a good job," I say, "Oh, sure." But if Yan Ping says you did a good job, I know, I know she means it. And there are a lot of things I wouldn't have dared do if she didn't, just help me on, egg me on, yeah. And not only that, once I come up with the idea of whatever project, she would then sit me down and say, "Let's go through this and how do we make it a reality, you know." So she becomes the admin side of my brain to see the ideas through life also. So I'm very grateful for that.
I think similar to that, I'm very grateful for you freeing me up or like supporting me in a lot of things, like career.
Or like yesterday,
What happened yesterday?
oh, you had the ladies.
Oh yeah, so like there are two ways in which he supports me, right? One is saying like, "Oh yeah, sure, you can go ahead and do it. I think you can, that kind of thing. I think if the what it takes or whatever." But the second thing is then freeing me up, like, "Oh, if you are busy, I will cover. I'll do the house chores, I'll do the clothes, I'll do the cleaning, all that kind of stuff." So what he mentioned yesterday, I had a bunch of ladies over, and he basically helped me tidy the place before they came.
And then once I tidy, I cabut.
Yeah.
Because it's a ladies' fellowship.
Yeah, so that kind of thing, I really appreciate the support that you give me.
Is that part of your answer, or you're just begging on, like tumpanging my answer?
Kind of like my point, but float from yours.
And I've never said this before, but I'm grateful for my in-laws. Yeah. After all, the reality is you are the fruit of my in-laws, ma. Yeah. And I've mom, dad, I love you. I've received so much support from you. I'm just adding on like how they also have also equally been praying for us and journeying with us where they can, and very generous with the help. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
one.
I think similarly, like I really appreciate my in-laws for backing us with a lot of prayer. Like I think my mother-in-law's prayer group is way more updated about my life than probably a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
So
Like
really,
if you covered prayer, you know where to go to my mom kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 And then also just like supporting without really judging. Like, "Oh yeah, you
You're
want
right.
to do this? Okay, go ahead," kind of thing.
Yeah. My in-laws don't give, and my parents don't give much comment.
Yeah, like my parents are very critical about everything because they want to make sure you make the right decision.
Correct.
You've thought things through. So that I appreciate about my parents too. But I appreciate the other side where they're just
More
like,
chill.
"Go forth and do whatever. We'll support
Yes.
you either way." Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you think you're grateful for?
I'm grateful that both of us are quite simple people.
We are low maintenance.
Like we can deal with small house, big house,
Yeah.
cheap clothes, expensive. Like we don't have a lot of requirements.
That's true. Now that you mention it, right? I think yeah. It's not that Yan Ping will not appreciate a nice handbag, but she really doesn't need a handbag. Yeah. So I'll think of a more practical stuff like a nice earrings at least, so that when she go for occasions she can wear them, stuff like that. And even then, I have to anticipate that she will lose her earrings. Because there's things like this. Yeah.
I'm grateful for us sinking to a point that we can tag team.
Okay, wait. You will remember your point, right? Okay, so I'm grateful for how we can talk and talk and talk and talk. Yeah. Obviously marriage is more than talk and talk and talk, but the intellectual sync that we share, how reflective we are, and at every moment it is very easy for us to enter each other's conversations. So that's why she can talk about her career life with me, so I'm able to listen, pinpoint certain things for her to have next steps. And vice versa she will just point out her observations and like, oh, I never thought of it that way. And we are very in sync, so much so that we are doing this thing where we don't finish each other's sentences, we say the exact same thing, to a point where we don't dare to say it anymore. She whisper each other, "You were thinking about that just now, right?" I said, yeah, I was. Then we just laugh and laugh.
Yeah.
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 So I guess with that, like having that sync thinking comes the tag teaming, which is very helpful when we're doing like counseling or ministry, because when we meet like people two against one or two against however many, then like I'll ask one. It doesn't feel like I'm the one asking all the questions or he's the one doing all the talking. It's like I ask the question, he knows what the follow up question should be,
Yeah,
and then
tag
we go
team.
on. Yeah, so
Correct.
tag team's quite nice.
And there's sometimes I do get a bit excited. You have to hint me to save you some questions.
Yeah. No, I realized that last time we used to tag team a lot, and then now because of his current work, he does go solo quite a bit. So then he gets used to me not being around, and he's just dominating all the questions. Then I'll be like, when I come along, I'll be like, remember that I exist.
Yeah. And she'll ask the exact same questions I'm really thinking of already.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think this has turned a little because now this is more 5 years of marriage, more about us than what marriage is, right?
That's what happens when you go off script.
Okay lah, fair lah. I was thinking about marriage in itself, but you guys do the same activity, couples out there, see whether you come with the same answers, and if you can comment below what 10 years or 20 years of marriage is, because some of our hearers are like 50 and above, right? Feel free to share your insights. But I would like to think that the kind of dynamic that Yamping and I have now is something that I want to have 30 years down the road, 40 years down the road. I don't ever want to lose that. Yeah. And with that, maybe what's one thing that you would like the other person to grow into? And I think we'll end it at there lah. Should I start first? The one of the lines that I sometimes share with Yamping is, in all her decision making, I would just say, as long as you're making the right sacrifices. And so I think one thing that I would like her to grow into is a larger capacity for things that matter so that she doesn't tunnel vision. Yeah. Do I need to unpack a little bit more of that?
Well, you have mentioned before, like, remember me more. Because, like, when I'm in my zone, I sometimes forget to consider him. Which is actually something I would say I learned about marriage. I don't. How do I put it?
Your computer doesn't have.
Yeah, thinking about the other person doesn't come naturally for me. Like, I have to intentionally add it in, kind of thing.
Yeah, and mine the opposite is on the other end, right? It's like I see when she's so tunnel focused on work, right? She'll forget to breathe, forget to drink water. I literally have to go now, drink now. And she's like, go, and that kind of thing. So I become a timer. Yeah, so maybe in that sense, just have a
Consider you more, right?
but more like download the application for larger capacity to, yeah.
Yeah, I think on my end, I struggle to think because I feel like you're working on most of the things already. So it's just more like continue growing in those directions.
Then at least then you can share. At least then they know it's something I'm still working on. But what do you want me to continue on working on?
Your task capacity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like, we both tunnel vision in very different ways, right? So when a task happens for him, his tunnel vision is like he cannot function.
No, I cannot. I don't notice everything else as long as whoever's around me is there to aid me in the task, nothing more.
Yeah,
You're not
so
a
let's
human.
say he needs to do this task and he needs a scissors and the scissors is there. He cannot go and like take the scissors. He'll be like, dear, get the scissors. And then I might be like across the room. I've got to cross the room to get the scissors to give it to, that kind of
Because
thing.
I'm in the moment already.
Yeah, so his task, and I learned like it runs in the family.
No, it runs in my mom.
No, she said you get it from your dad.
Oh, wait. I combine my dad and my mom. I combine my mom's speech with my dad's tunnel vision. Oh, no,
Yeah.
okay. So my mom will say things 5 times. Let's go. Can do this. So I realized Yamping had to point it out. Hey, Andrew, you do the same thing, you know? And so how I cut myself is I cut myself to at least say it 3 times or less. And I have to be gentler. So I don't go like, dear, scissors. I'll be like, Dear, in the moment right now, could you pass me the scissors over there? I really,
Yeah, like I really like told him like this is how you should say things if you want to request things.
yeah. So
Yeah. So
okay, yeah. At least for the sake of the listeners, any final things that you would like just to share, not as a guru on the hill, but just something for the younger couples who are newly married, just to think about. What would you want to say to them? Because 5 years, ma.
well, I feel like our conversation started out with things that we learned, right? But it ended up like us roasting each other.
I don't feel the rose. I felt one rose.
Yeah, maybe I started it, but I think that does happen in marriage when you know the other person very well, and you want the person to grow, right? So then you point out a lot of the person's flaws. You point out like, I know this weakness about you, and sometimes it's a conscious effort to think about the existing strengths and things to celebrate, which they exist there definitely. It's not like you don't acknowledge them, but because we're so focused on trying to improve the situation, right, that we forget to celebrate each other's good sides or even like praise each other. Yeah, and I think that's quite important in a marriage as well.
Okay, so for me then, I'll just share. I agree. I will then add on with I think the house that you're building. And I mean, I'm talking about the marriage house that you're building. What is the foundation of it all? Uh, we are Christians, so the foundation of it all is to portray Christ as how Christ loved the church. Personally, for us, I do not find any other foundational marriage as clear as this. Really, any other marriage falls apart. You want the reasons on why you two get together, right? And so when I fight with her and when I journey with her, I'm always thinking about what Christ wants her to be in the version of Yemping in that perfect maturity, Christ likeness. And I'm always saying one more step towards that direction, and I'm always journeying with her that. And I think in the highs and the lows, I hold that in mind, being prayerful and knowing that the Holy Spirit is doing His work. And I think that's how we're able to persevere in our marriage. Lor. That's one thing. Yeah.
Cool.
So I guess that's it for now.
This is the Theology Podcast.
Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.